Macro. They see the change, the tone, but they couldn't handle that. No, they couldn't handle that. If they really knew the fact, yeah, they really don't know. To have a gift, it is a curse. To be the light, you must feel the burn. Given the power to move a tide, let's move a tide.
Hello guys, happy new year and welcome back to my channel where we discuss popular mainstream music. And in this video we're going to be discussing the Mount Rushmore of pop divas. Okay, the Mount Rushmore pop divas, and you guys know that they always do this where they choose 4 selective people that represent the archetypes or the pillars of a whole industry. And this is going to be the Mount Rushmore of female pop divas, which will be Madonna, Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson, and Mariah Carey. But before we get into it, if you enjoyed the little snippet of music in the beginning of this video, that is my music. Check it out. All you have to do is type my name, Sam Dolphin, and my music will pop up on the YouTube search bar. You can also listen to my music on all music streaming platforms such as Spotify and Apple Music. So definitely check it out, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Getting back into the video, and this is the Mount Rushmore of pop divas, and this is Madonna, Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson, and Mariah Carey. And I wanted to do this video because I'm a huge big fan of the oldies, and I believe when you look at all the female pop stars today, you can trace back to these 4 women. They're literally, in my opinion, the archetypes of female pop superstars. Madonna, Whitney Houston, Janet, and Mariah Carey, they came out during the 80s and 90s, which was the golden age of female pop superstars. And 4 of these ladies represent archetypes, okay, major archetypes, okay, all these favorite artists you have now, whether it be Lady Gaga, Britney Spears, Beyonce, Adele, you can all trace back their artistry to certain archetypes of these 4 women, which is Whitney, Janet, Madonna, and Mariah Carey, okay? So it's very important to understand this because you will understand where do all these archetypes and styles of artistry come from. And these women, these legendary women, really are the blueprint, okay? The blueprint for female pop superstars, literally the blueprint. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And we're going to start with the first female, which is Madonna, okay? Madonna. And when it comes to Madonna, Madonna is the visual archetype of a female pop star, okay? She had the vision, okay? All the pop stars you see now with the costuming, the fashion, the videos, the imagery, all this can be traced down to Madonna. Madonna's the original female pop star with the strong vision. Okay, she first came out during 1983, 84-ish. Okay, and everything about her, what was so fresh about her was her image. Okay, she's so visual. She even said in one of the interviews when she first came out, she had her song Everybody, which came out on radio, and it didn't do so well until there was a visual with it, the video with it. She came out during the birth of MTV music videos, which is the birth of visual pop stars in general. But she was such a pioneer for it when it came to her image. She was so consistent, and she really set that blueprint. First starting with fashion. Fashion was a major part of her image, major part of her image, and really stood her out, and she used fashion as a vehicle to stand her out from the rest. If you look at her performance at the VMAs, that first VMAs, 1984, she did Like a Virgin, and she's like dressed in this wedding gown outfit on top of this wedding cake. It was just a visual experience. Even if you compare her to all the other performers during that year, they all did a really great job and probably even better vocally than her. But what stood her out was her whole visual, the look, the brides, the boy toy buckle, the fashion. She had a whole era of girls literally dressing just like her. Her image was strong and powerful. You look at Lucky Star, the music video, her image stands out. She was such a visual artist. And so many of the female pop stars take that from her. Now everyone's, very visual, but she is kind of like the blueprint, okay? The origin of that visual female pop star. And she used her fashion, she used her image, the music videos, really to stand out and push. She was such a visual artist. On top of just being visual, she was very theatrical as she got in later to her career with Papa Don't Preach, the True Blue era and album. Incredible, the sex appeal, the look, even the message, okay, behind what she was saying, very super theatrical. Who's That Girl tour. It was just a visual experience, and that's what stimulated so many people, and that's what stood her out so much, is that not only that she had great pop music, but she also had great vision. The Blonde Ambition tour, okay, absolutely incredible, a visual experience. She really pushed image. She really pushed image. And this is why they call her the Queen of Reinvention, because it was all about the look. It was all about what you were selling. It was all about a theme. Very theatrical. Very, very theatrical. Very much like a theater girl. So Madonna is the original visual female pop artist. And she set that blueprint for so many women later. Especially during the 2010s era, where you had Lady Gaga, Rihanna, artists who were very theatrical, very visual, very much about the fashion, very much about the look, changing their looks, using vision in order to further push their music. All of that, okay, stems from Madonna, okay? I would go as far as to say that the 2010s era, a lot of the female pop artists from the 2010s era were all really taking from the Madonna blueprint, which is image and visuals, sex appeal, using that to push the pop music. So you look at all these pop stars, Madonna is the origin of that. The origin of that. She is the visual pop female star. The origin, the original. So Madonna is definitely one of the Mount Rushmores, okay, for female pop superstars. Absolutely incredible. Really brought in the vision. The next artist, okay, for the Mount Rushmore is Whitney Houston. Okay, Whitney Houston. Now, Whitney Houston, now she's the opposite. She is about the voice. Okay? Not so much about visuals and pushing out so much fashion. More about the pure vocal talent, the soul. Came to Whitney Houston, she inspired so much. I'm talking about so much for the artists coming after her, especially in the 90s. You had so many vocal superstars such as Celine Dion, Kiki Howard, even Mariah Carey, who will also name later. Whitney Houston was the original blueprint for that vocal pop star, but not just a vocalist, because we've had many vocalists such as Aretha Franklin, Dionne Warwick. But what stood her out is that she was able to take all that soul, all that power, all that vocal ability, and put it into a pop song. That's what stood her out and made her unique, because she can package all of that soul, all of that strong vocal ability, and package it into a pop song and do it so successfully. Okay? And so many girls have taken from it later on the days. If you look at even some of the more modern examples like Adele and Ariana Grande, both girls who are in the pop mainstream, very influential in pop music, but are known for their voice, known for their vocals. That original blueprint comes from Whitney Houston, okay? Whitney Houston. She is the origin of that, and she inspired such an era and decade. Now in more modern terms, all I can really use is like Adele, Ariana Grande, also Christina Aguilera. She's another great example. She was very highly influenced by Whitney Houston as well too. Again, using that soul, those vocals to push a pop song, okay, and be a pop star, a vocal pop star. Very, very, very huge. And one of the biggest things to also look when it comes to Whitney Houston is that not only was she influential to other artists, but she also influenced a lot of these talent award shows, okay? American Idol, The Voice, which is literally named right after her. And American Idol was inspired after Whitney. They were looking for a vocal pop star. So Whitney Houston is, again, one of the very examples of the Mount Rushmore for female pop stars, okay? And she represents the voice, okay? She is the voice. While Madonna was the vision, okay? Whitney Houston was the voice, literally, okay? And people haven't seen that before, being able to take such powerful vocals and put it into pop music, package it as a pop star, okay? So incredibly influential and one of the main blueprints, okay, of the type of female pop stars that we have today. Now, Whitney Houston's act is not an easy act, and it's not something easily replicated. Again, very few pop stars really have strong vocals like a Whitney Houston, so she's one of those rare types. But again, like I said, Ariana Grande would be a good example, Christina Aguilera, Adele, of female pop stars with the strong vocals. So Whitney Houston is that blueprint, okay? Major blueprint, bringing in that soul into pop music, okay, and pop artists. Now the next is Janet Jackson, okay? Janet Jackson, and Janet Jackson brought performance and athleticism, okay? That is her forte. And this became a major blueprint, a major formula for so many artists after. You look at Britney Spears, you look at J-Lo, you look at Beyonce with the major dancing and performance. All of that stems from Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson is the original dance female performing artist, okay? She brought the performance, the athleticism, the movement, okay? She is the original. A lot of these artists that you see, especially from the 2000s, Beyonce, Ciara, Britney Spears, all of them really looked up to Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson is the one that set that blueprint for a major female dancing pop superstar. She is the original and the blueprint for that. So incredibly amazing. I go as far as to say, when it comes to K-pop and J-pop, very highly influenced by Janet Jackson. Okay, Janet Jackson is that original blueprint for that choreography, putting on a major performance, putting on a major athletic performance, dancing from beginning to end. Now, there wasn't artists like that. There wasn't music artists like that. Everyone would, take a mic, sing, maybe do a little sachet here and there. But Janet Jackson really cemented that dancer artist, okay, with the big performances, and she set that blueprint that so many artists after her went on to do and to replicate. So many artists have taken that blueprint, the choreography, the dancing. So Janet Jackson is that original. If you look at Britney, very similar to Janet Jackson. You look at Jennifer Lopez, very similar. Even Beyonce, okay, who does so much dancing. You look at them and they all pulled from Janet Jackson. They were all heavily influenced by Janet Jackson. So she she influenced a whole generation. I'll go as far as to say that the 2000s, okay, especially the 2000s era for female pop artists, they all heavily took from Janet Jackson. It was Janet Jackson written all over that era. So Janet Jackson is one of the major blueprints for female pop artists, okay? A lot of the later ones now, like Tate McRae, Normani, again, these are evolutions of a Janet Jackson archetype, okay? You look at K-pop and how they are formulated, all come from Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson was a major influence. Rhythm Nation tour that went into Tokyo, very influential and really started a whole generation of dancing. Okay, so she's a major blueprint and major pillar for female pop superstars, and the ones that you see today, so the athletic ones that you see today that we talk about, all this stems from the influence and the origin of Janet Jackson, okay? Now, last but not least, we have...
Baby, it's all in your mind.
Sing, baby.
Baby, it's all in your mind. Baby, it's all in your mind. Baby, it's all in your mind.
Carey, okay, Mariah Carey. Now, Mariah Carey, actually, when she came out, by Tommy Sotomayor, I think that's his name, he was looking for his personal Whitney Houston. Now, you know Mariah Carey is an incredible vocalist, and he was looking for his, and Mariah Carey was that one. But what stands her out so much is that not only is she a great singer, but she is a great songwriter, okay? That's what makes her her own individual. That's what stands her out from Whitney Houston, is that she is also a songwriter. She's a songstress. And so many of her songs became #1 hits. Mariah Carey is the sound, the ear, okay? Her ear is just absolutely amazing because she made so many hits. She wrote so many #1 hits on top of having a really good voice. Okay, this is why she's the songbird. She's the songstress. And when you look at artists now, okay, one artist that I like to mention after, of course people like to talk about Ariana Grande because vocally she's similar to Mariah Carey. But looking at Mariah Carey as an overall artist, what she influenced is the songstress, the female pop star who writes her own songs, who creates beautiful melodies, okay? Artists I can name is Adele. Okay, Adele's a really good example because Adele has a lot of hits, but a lot of her hits are written by her. She's the songstress, okay? SZA, okay, another incredible songwriter with a very unique ear, okay? These are the female pop stars with an ear who can develop their own sound, okay? And this is what stood Mariah Carey out from Whitney Houston, because Whitney Houston's the voice. She's the ultimate voice. But Mariah Carey had the sound, had the ear, was able to write her songs and become the sound for the 90s. I mean, absolutely incredible. She's a songstress, okay? Incredible musicality. So, with that all being said, these are the Mount Rushmore of female pop superstars, okay? You look at all the ones we have today, Beyonce, Ariana Grande, Miley Cyrus, all the ones you can think of, Katy Perry, okay, J-Lo, Britney Spears, all of these major artists, you can always go down to these main 4 artists. You can always track them down to these main 4 artists, which is Whitney Houston, Madonna, Janet Jackson, and Mariah Carey. All 4 of these women are really the blueprints. They come from the golden age of pop superstars, and they are the blueprints for so many of the artists that have come after. And you can literally trace back to them. They literally represent that, whether it be the big, the big singing competition shows that are trying to create a vocal pop star, whether it be the image, the creativity, the fashion like Rihanna, Lady Gaga, that all stems from Madonna, whether it be the performance, the athleticism, the dance like Britney and Beyonce, that all comes from Janet Jackson, or the amazing songstress, the melodies like Adele, like SZA, that all stems from Mariah Carey. Okay, I say this all to say Madonna is the visual pop superstar, okay, with the vision. Whitney Houston is the voice, okay. Janet Jackson is the performance, the athleticism, the dance. And Mariah Carey is the ear, the sound, the songstress, the songwriter, the melodies, okay, that made up a whole generation. So these are the Mount Rushmore of pop female diva superstars. They're literally the blueprint. They came from the golden age, and you can trace any superstar down to them. So tell me what you guys think about this, okay? The Mount Rushmore of pop female superstars: Mariah Carey, Janet Jackson, Whitney Houston, Madonna. Do you agree? What do you not agree with? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll check you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.